Hello there. In this video, we're going to talk about web accessibility. Now imagine this is the website we look at. Imagine if it was blurred like this. This is how people with low vision see it. Now imagine if this website was completely black. This is how people with no vision see the website. Now let's see the experience they get when they navigate it. I'm going to turn on the voiceover on the iMac.
Voiceover on Chrome. Home. Codeytek Academy Google Chrome. With entering Home. Codeytek Academy web current page. Visited. Link. Image. Codeytek Academy. Current page. Visited. Link. Codeytek Academy. Visited. Link. About. List 5 items. Visited. Link. Blog.
So this is how people with no vision actually navigate the site. Pretty difficult, right? So this is why making the website accessible is really important, because we need equal access for all. People with visual, hearing, cognitive, or motor impairments should be able to read, navigate, and use websites just like everyone else. And accessibility removes barriers that prevent them from accessing information or services. Also, it provides better user experience. Accessible websites are often easier for everyone to use, not just people with disabilities. Features like good color contrast, keyboard navigation, and readable fonts help all the users. It improves SEO. Search engines benefit from accessible features like clear headings, alt text, and meaningful text. This can help improve your site's visibility in search results. Also, it's good for business because accessibility opens your site to a wider audience, including over 1 billion people globally who live with some form of disability. So imagine if our website was not accessible, the number of people we are losing in this world who are not able to use our website. So it's really good for business because we can increase our user base, and it can also increase the customer satisfaction, brand loyalty, and revenue. Now, besides all these reasons, one of the other important reasons why we should now make our website accessible is because now it's a legal requirement. Many countries like US, Canada, EU nations have laws that require your website to be accessible, and ignoring accessibility can lead to lawsuits, fines, and damage to the reputation. One of the legal requirements is from EAA, which is European Accessibility Act. So what is EAA? Well, EAA is a European Union directive, which is a legal framework adopted by EU in 2019. What it requires is basically, it requires the digital products and services to meet common accessibility standards across all EU member states. And it ensures that people with disabilities can equally access your websites and also the digital and physical services products. When you talk about the milestones, this directive was adopted in April 2019, and by June 2022, EU countries had to transpose into national law. And this year, on the 28th June 2025, this compliance became mandatory. Now, what does that mean for us? If it's mandatory from 28th of June, what happens to the website that were built before that? Well, the good news is that the EA applies to the new products and services placed on EU market after 28th of June. But that does not mean that, we need to ignore the websites that were built before that. So how does that work? Well, existing products that undergo substantial modification after 28th of June 2025 will need to be abide by these guidelines and rules. So let's say if your website code was written before 28th of June, but if you make any substantial modification to the code base, then the new changes you're making, the new updates that you're making must comply with EAA guidelines. One of the exceptions to this rule is that services offered continuously, example banking, e-commerce, media platforms, must comply by 2025. Even if originally developed before that. And the reason for that is because they aren't placed in the market just once, they're continuously offered. So users are need to use your e-commerce website or banking website continuously. So if they are blocked, if they are not able to use it, if they're not able to move forward because your website doesn't have the accessibility requirement met, then they are not going to be able to use your services, which is why it comes under exception. It must comply with WCAG, which is Web Content Accessibility Guidelines 2.1. For AA rule, I'll come to the AA part in a moment, but that's the rule we need to comply for the website and mobile apps. And like I mentioned earlier, there's going to be penalties for non-compliance. Like national authorities will enforce fines, so we may have to pay a heavy fine. Like it's really heavy fines. If you look at on the internet, you'll see how heavy it is, and they are going to be monitoring our website. So there's going to be compliance monitoring, and they're going to take care of the consumer complaint mechanism. Okay, so what is the WCAG levels, A or AA or AAA? Well, A means minimum requirement. Your website is meeting the basic requirement for many users. AA means it's mid-level industry standard, and that's what we need to comply with at least. It addresses the biggest barriers for the people with disabilities, so they shouldn't be blocked from using the website. For instance, let's say they go ahead and tab into a button that looks that says it's a button, but they click on it and nothing happens. They can't operate it with either enter or space bar. Then they are blocked. They can't really use it, right? And AAA is the highest level. So this not only involves the minimum usability, but also all of the best practices. So often it's used by the governments or for specialized accessibility needs. So at least our website must comply with WCAG AA rule. So what does the AA mean? Well, it includes all level A requirements, basic access, plus additional rules that improve usability and inclusivity. Some of the examples would be minimum color contrast, resizing text up to 200% without loss of the content. So some people who have low vision, what they do is they go ahead and zoom your website to up to 200%. So your website shouldn't break. We shouldn't lose the content by zooming it. They don't have to like keep scrolling it. And there should be visible focus indicators. If they are on any link or buttons, then there should be some kind of focus indicator to tell them that they're currently on that particular element. Headings and labels should be descriptive because that's the information screen readers read. Keyboard operability for all the functions. All the functions of website should be accessible by keyboard. Like if they're pressing tab, pressing spacebar and enter, they should be able to click on a button or a link. Text alternative for non-text content. Captions for pre-recorded multimedia. This is one of the areas which is often overlooked, where we upload the video but there are no captions, so and people who can't see the video can't really know what it's all about. So captions are like really important. Okay, so I will see you in the next video.